So it was an ogre. It was somebody. It's not in there.
It's a crazy story.
It's a crazy story. There's more stories like this about giving also. I think it was Moggaliano. It was very stern. One who made the Vinaya is very stern, very earnest, hardly ever laugh. It was very, very compassionate. And they go and pin the pot when they have the bulls, and they just stand there, and then people give the bull. And a leprosy woman came and gave him something, and the finger fell into it. So would you eat it?
Vegan.
But this finger has been given voluntarily. The woman was still alive. So he ate it out of compassion, in order not to embarrass the woman, with the finger. Yeah, like the whole thing. Can you imagine how much advance he made on the Bodhisattva? So it's very nice.
He was advanced before.
Huh?
He was advanced before.
He was advanced before, yeah, of course. No eye there, no real finger, no real food, no real other, no real me. So when we have realized emptiness, then we can do these things. But then we can do them, so that's the goal. So then they don't suffer. These beings don't suffer because they don't have an eye, they don't have an ego. So yeah, there's many stories. So apparently he still attained, there are some exceptions because Shariputra, when a disciple of the Buddha, he probably had enough positive karma already, and then he still attained liberation. So. But it's only for the Buddhas to see, like only the omniscient can discern the manner of the action of those who give up bodhicitta but are freed. Yeah, that they will still attain enlightenment. So whether we are then freed or whether we are stuck in the lower states, we don't know. It is beyond the scope of ordinary thought. So we don't know. If you have questions, then please ask. Yeah. So also, as a bodhisattva, actually, you make a commitment to go into more and more and more difficult situations. So of course you find more and more and more greedy people. Yeah? So you start small. You start with the little greedy people, but then in order to grow, you expose yourself to very difficult situations. I mean, you know the 37 practices of a bodhisattva. Have you heard about those? Especially if you go to Gajin Rinpoche's teachings, you get this little booklet, which is beautiful. So that also, from time to time, as a bodhisattva, open it up in the morning and go up, and then you think, for this week I practiced this verse. Not all 37 together, but just this one verse. Of course, it's the beginning, so don't do it at the beginning, because it says leave your homeland, and then you go like, okay, I'm going to leave my children and my parents and everybody behind, and I leave my homeland. But why is this advice, leave your homeland? Why is it a good thing?
I think it relates to being on the fringe of the place that you move out of your comfort zone.
One is you move out of your comfort zone, yeah. One other one is also...
give up attachment with beings
and anger also. If you're in your kind of cave somewhere, you don't hear what's happening in Israel. There's no anger against your government. If I hear, no, I'm not joking, it's not a joke. If I hear about what's happening in Israel, I get sad, but I don't get angry because I'm not from this country. I don't identify with this country. When I hear what the Swiss people do, then I think, like, oh, these idiots, why are they voting for that again, and this and that. So this also is one of the reasons, and we have a lot of people here that we need to spend time with. So if you fall on that one, again, don't take it literally. You can give up your homeland for one weekend and go into retreat and not switch on the radio or the TV or read the newspapers on your telephone. That would be leave your homeland also. Yeah? And to really not identify with this thing. See, as a Buddha, you become like the, what's his name, Gutierrez now. Do you know Gutierrez? He is the head of the UN. That means he has to think, how can I benefit all these countries? This is what you do, like Kofi Annan before, or Ban Ki-moon, these people. So they have to think, how can I benefit all the countries so that they become beneficial, not just where I'm from. So this is a Buddha, Bodhisattva thinking. How can I benefit all beings? not just the humans or the animals or the whatever, or the people from this place and so on. Yeah? So this is how we have to start thinking, all beings. So 8. So this, for a bodhisattva, is the heaviest of downfalls, for it should it ever happen, the welfare of all will be weakened. We kind of had this before, didn't we? So Shantideva is kind of talking about this again and again and again, about the dangers of giving it up. But he really means giving it up completely, not just kind of thinking like, like Avalokiteshvara. Yeah, when Avalokiteshvara also, he was a very, very realized bodhisattva, and he was liberating beings, liberating them, and he could see just as many as he liberated. Like the others, they made more and more negativities, and because he made a promise that if I give up bodhicitta, my head kind of split into 1,000 pieces, my body split into 1,000 pieces. We don't have one. We have only the four-armed one. So anyway, so he thought, it's no use, it's no point. I give up. Yeah.
All the ants.
Huh?
All the ants.
All the ants, all the mosquitoes, all the humans, just the humans. Look at how much negative karma humans produce. Every second.
Crazy.
So he exploded, and then Amitabha came. He was already a Buddha. He said, no. Don't give up, it's okay. So he put him back together again. So this is why he has 11 heads and 1,000 arms. Yeah. He said, no, you're so far advanced on the path, I won't let it happen to you. So, yeah. So again, don't take this into like literally. But like this, we can also be in moments like this. And then go and find somebody, go and talk to your master, because I had a moment like this. I hated everybody. I thought, this whole thing. About 2 years in my practice, I kind of hated everybody. And I went to see Kitsentra Rinpoche, and I said, look, Rinpoche, I'm sorry. My compassion is, I went like this, with like, and bodhicitta, nowhere to be seen. And I said, I'm just angry at everybody in the center. So, if you think that it's in the centers and in the groups it's only harmony and everything is nice, it's not. Because you have high expectations that everybody should practice this. And then you don't see that, you also not practicing it, actually. So I started laughing. And that was enough for me to let go of thinking, oh, wow, this is not working. Say, oh, who do you think you are? You practiced 2 years. And he gave me an example that as a mountain climber, I could really relate to. I never told him that I climbed mountains. But he used that example, what happens when you climb a mountain. And then I thought, yeah, it's exactly like that. Sometimes you get tired, but then because you made the strong determination and the arrogance as a mountain climber, you don't want to come back down and say, I didn't make it to the top. You could lie. But this is how people kill themselves. Because they need to go to the top. And I know that drive. So I know I can have that drive if I have enough interest. I know it's there. Yeah, so that's what he used. So then I thought, okay. So I went back and the whole thing was just like a bubble. It went like... But I also knew that I had to, he also said, next time you get angry at the people up there, go for a walk. So I thought, the arrogance, what kind of advice is that? I mean, go for a walk, how is that going to solve my problem? But still, I did it. Next time I was just about to say something. So I thought, okay, I need to go for a walk. So I stormed out. I didn't even make it to the chai shop. If you know Tushita, it's like 2 minutes, okay? And I thought, I'm going to move out of here. And then the bubble burst. I saw the solution. I can't stay here. These people make me so upset and I can't deal with it, so I need to do something. Yeah, so I moved down to the library. Well, it was horrible. It was like just, it was Tibetan boy looking for Western girl. Parties until 3 o'clock in the morning, drinking also, and it was like nobody doing pujas, nobody to sit within the dining room where you could discuss these things. Everybody was cooking in their own room, and the restaurant was really lousy at that time also. It was very difficult. I endured 2 months. Then I came back up. The situation hadn't changed. I mean, I was not humble enough to say, look, can I come back? I was not humble enough. But then somebody asked, could you please lead the next Bodhisattva retreat? We don't have anybody. And I went, phew. I didn't say, yes, of course. I said, oh, I have to ask my teacher first. You know, kind of faking that, oh, let me consider it. But inside it was, yes. So I moved back up after 2 months because I needed to be a way to see how precious this situation is, even if half of the staff is watching movies. So, you know, I like to watch movies, but I didn't go because I thought it was inappropriate. This is why I got angry. Not because they were watching movies, but because I was so good and resisting to the temptation to go and watch movies. This is why I got angry at them. And then I could let them watch movies and I did whatever I wanted to do. Be there and do the pujas and, yeah. So, and then I stayed for 17 years. I don't know. But yeah, sometimes when you are so stuck, you know, somewhere and you are about to give up, and because also another situation, I thought, I'm going back to the normal world where people know when they harm each other and they don't hide behind the bodhicitta motivation. So that's what happens quite often. I do this in order to teach them a lesson, because they don't behave like Bodhisattva, these kind of things. Then again I went to see Rinpoche. I said, Rinpoche, I'm giving up, I'm going back to the normal world. And he said, well, just think about the benefit of keeping the vows. And I thought, oh, okay. Then I went back up. I sat on my anger towards the others. Because they didn't behave, I thought they should behave. I locked myself into my room, I didn't come out. And I sat on my anger. And I saw I was doing exactly the same thing as they were doing. They were getting angry at those people because they didn't like them. I got angry at them because they got angry at those, and then so it's the same. Anger is anger. And then again, the moment you see it, and this is where awareness is coming in, the moment you see it, when you're not looking up here for a reason, but by training, you know, you kind of, maybe you think about something else, but all of a sudden, I don't know if you had such experiences, all of a sudden it goes click, and you understand, and then it poof, it goes. Yeah. But because of having thought about this so many times intellectually, then all of a sudden, as if it's breaking the kind of the border where it goes from intellectual knowledge into, I wouldn't call it realization, that's a big word, but it's like, yeah, so like this. But I needed my teacher, I needed somebody to inspire me and to encourage me. This is why I'm saying, please, with the Sangha, also share your pains. Or with your teacher. Don't just go there and say all the things you do well. No point. You know, they love you anyway. Love you in a way of they really want to help you anyway, whether you're a good student or you're not a good student. Don't go there with the mind of fear that, oh, I broke my vows. You see, you break your vows. Everybody else does. It's not. Don't take it lightly, but also don't fake as if you haven't broken them. And don't hide it. This is the main thing. Because otherwise you're not even happy when the teacher comes. You don't want to go and see him or her. Because you're afraid. Yeah. There's no joy when these people come because you know you didn't behave properly. Confess. This is what it's for. Okay. Did we do 8? Yes, this for a Bodhisattva is the heaviest of downfalls. For a Bodhisattva, somebody who has engaged already in the vow. So if you feel inspired, then for a long time go with aspiring bodhicitta. Listen to these teachings. Listen to or look at the people who are practicing it. Not me, I'm not a good example, but people like the masters. Look at them, people who live that. Then the wish comes up, hey, I want this. And then start very, very slowly. What do you think, Kitty? Because you also went up, there's so many beings.
Yeah, it's too much, I think. Because this is after the Buddha, and still the world looks like this.
Yeah.
So, it's impossible.
What is impossible? For you to attain enlightenment is impossible?
No, but this liberate all beings.
But then you will be saying like, well, I don't want to become a doctor because it's impossible to heal all patients. I'm not going to study medicine even though I have the capacity because how can I ever heal all people?
No, I can heal a few people.
The Buddha liberates a few people.
Yeah, that's okay. But the Bodhisattva wants to liberate everyone.
No.
So it's a
No?
Buddha.
No?
No. If a Bodhisattva, the Buddha, can liberate all beings, they do it. They will not give up until everybody is enlightened.
So this is a long time.
So what's the problem? Giri, the mind is limitless. So you prefer for a long eternity almost to travel around in samsara?
Also no.
Also no. So then again, the advantage and the disadvantage. You have these two choices, more you don't. Either you get out, or you go for self-liberation. The Buddha taught this vehicle. It's okay. Because as you say, for many it was too much. So then you go, okay, I go for self-liberation. I go into nirvana. Then the Mahayanists say, I don't know if it's true. Then the Buddhists come and kick you out of there. Say, hey, you've made all this, but then you have to start all the way down again. So you might as well go for the best already now. Yeah. Don't think so much about when will it be finished. This is a question that the Buddha never kind of answered. Will there be an end? So it's not important to know whether there will be an end or not. Yeah. And then if you think like, the Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa, Gajin Rinpoche, if you look at their minds, I mean, they're so happy. They're so free. It seems like their heart is free, is really free. Then they can liberate somebody, fantastic. They say, it is in one quote of the sutra, say, the unruly, leave them alone. They will, because everybody has the potential, they will at one point also come to this path.
So you don't get frustrated that so many beings are suffering?
No.
No? This I cannot, I
Like
don't
we do.
experience.
Huh?
You do. That's how Tara was born.
What?
When Avalokita, he looked at all this, he walked all this time, took a short rest, so how, that's the legend.
Well,
so
that's
how-
no, but that's the kind of Tantra Tara, but the other Tara is like, I want to attain enlightenment in a female form. That's the historical
Yeah.
Tara. Yeah, so like it's, I mean, what's the point of getting frustrated? Then again, one from Shantideva, that one is like, wow, so powerful, 6th chapter, I think. What is the point about getting upset about something that you cannot change? And what is the point of getting upset about something that you can change? Yeah? So you can now, by your baby bodhisattva behavior that we all have, we're all baby bodhisattvas, we can now at least not destroy somebody's peace of mind by doing this training. Like we're aiming too quick, too high. Yeah. But it's okay. The other choice is to circle in samsara eternally. Sometimes high up, sometimes low down. I mean, who wants that? Okay. Yes, Avi.
Can you talk a little bit about the spirit of Bodhisattva and how people connect to him after he begin to walk?
How people connect to him? How do you think people connect to the Dalai Lama?
No, I say what give them to connect to the Bodhisattva?
Yeah. What is drawing us to pay money to go and see somebody like the Dalai Lama? I'm kind of throwing the question back at you.
Yeah,
What is it?
it's I don't know,
Exactly. It's something
Energy.
that we can't really say what it is.
No, it's energy.
It's-
I think it's movement.
It's his
movement
kindness,
and
it's his
energy.
humor, it's his being, it's the way he is. He's so natural, he's so relaxed, he's so funny, he's so wise. He's so compassionate also. So that's what it is.
The Dalai Lama is the Buddha.
I don't know. He says I'm a
to
simple monk.
Bodhisattva. People,
I don't know who is a Bodhisattva.
people, Bodhisattva in little city that connect to 1,000 people.
Yeah.
How?
Imagine
Karmic connection.
The connection, I mean.
Karmic connection. Karmic connection.
The connection with
This
the
is
people
why
and the Bodhisattva,
this was
not the Dalai
both.
Lama.
Both. I mean, this is it. But we don't know who is a Bodhisattva. We have no clue who is a Bodhisattva. It might be somebody meditating in a cave their whole life, never having any contact with somebody who is meditating on emptiness. We don't know. How can we know who is a Bodhisattva?
And when they change things,
Huh?
a man or woman that change things,
Can they change things? Yeah, you do
yeah,
have. You do have.
it's a Bodhisattva.
Apart from, there's different levels of Bodhisattva. So there is the ordinary Bodhisattva who has not realized emptiness, who's just, struggling with all these things and a lot of also kind of self-concern and this and that. There's the ordinary Bodhisattva. Goes on the path of accumulation. From there, when he trains shamatha and vipassana, when he has that, he has shamatha and he can combine it with vipassana, a special insight into emptiness, he goes on the path of preparation. Yeah, and then he kind of strengthens that view on emptiness. But also at the same time, he needs to collect a lot of merit. He needs to collect a lot of positive energy for this to work. So he's out practicing the 6 perfections also, sometimes in and sometimes out. So it's meditation time, but also post-meditation time. Then he goes on the path of seeing. Then he becomes what is called an Arya Bodhisattva, somebody who has realized emptiness. And then they can manifest in different forms and different this and that, but they don't have the label Bodhisattva here. We don't know. Somebody who appears to be really, really a bad person can be a Bodhisattva. I mean, Marpa, and the story of Milarepa, Marpa, who abused Milarepa in the worst way that you can, beating him up, making him build houses and tearing them down again. No, this is not what I wanted. I wanted it square, now you made it round, and then, make around it. No, I want it like whatever. Yeah. What happened with Milarepa? What?
Became enlightened.
He attained enlightenment in that lifetime because he needed, Marpa knew he needs to purify the negative karma. I need to push him so hard. But he also saw that Milarepa had the devotion to continue and not to give up. So this is the skills of a Bodhisattva, the mind of a Bodhisattva. Knowing what to say to whom, when, and how much. I don't have this skill.
And movement.
What movement?
I mean, movement of people.
Not necessarily. It can be one person. They say Bodhisattva would stand at the corner of somewhere. Bodhisattva knows, like an Arya Bodhisattva, not an ordinary one, knows that you have a connection with him, that there's something very small, very slight, and would stand at the corner of where you go, that you pass in order to go to work every morning, just so that you see him. But he's not making contact with you yet, just to create some seeds or to strengthen those seeds. You're not an activist as a Bodhisattva. Yeah? You let that karma ripen, these karmic connections, you let them ripen. Okay? So, it's high, Arya Bodhisattvas, they're high beings. Then you can ask, are there any existing? I don't know. Maybe there are.
Because all the time we are talking about the Dalai Lama and how we see him as a Buddha, but I have a good friend, he's a journalist, and he met the Dalai Lama for an interview, and he told me, listen, he's a nice guy,
Yes.
but he's
Yeah.
a guy.
Yeah.
And it's all depends on your karma.
Totally.
You could see it or
The
not.
Chinese see him as an enemy.
Yeah.
So what is he? You see, you're not a miracle maker as a Bodhisattva or as a Buddha. You can't just snap your fingers and everybody's enlightened. This is why this one is said, everybody has to work for their own enlightenment because we have different connections to different people. So not everybody is attracted to the Dalai Lama, as you say. But I think the journalist also, sometimes these people expect that they're performing a miracle,
Yeah,
like Avi now. Also, they're not performing miracles. They're totally ordinary people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With power.
Now, you see, if they would have the power, this is the thing, if they would have the power to take us out of samsara, we'd all be out of samsara already, long time ago. but we have to make it ourselves. They can only help us, they can only guide us. They do have some powers, they can influence us, but not, we still have to do the work ourselves.
When I say power, I don't mean aggressive.
No, but
I mean that power that can connect Karamic people.
but not with everybody. The wish to do it with everybody is there, but it doesn't happen with everybody. Not in this lifetime, maybe in another lifetime. See, as I said, these Chinese people who are against the Dalai Lama, who knows, they might be his disciples next time round, because there is this very strong connection. Yeah, so having a negative connection with somebody is not necessarily bad, if your mind is realized, huh?
There are many Chinese.
There are many Chinese. Well, you see, most of the Chinese, they don't know what is happening they don't know what is happening in Tibet. They have no clue. Do you think they put it in their news, what is happening in Tibet? They don't know.
The Israelis know.
The Israelis know what happens in the they say.
No, they don't know.
How come there is Buddhism in China? It's all the time, and actually because
It was in China, but then Mao
in
came.
China now also.
Huh?
I mean,
It's reviving now.
yes.
Mao suppressed
So
it.
why
Which,
they are depressing the Tibetan monks?
I think it's a power game, it's this whole thing, like this huge country was not able to subdue these little people, this little country, and I think it's a prestige thing. Also, there's a lot of natural resources in Tibet, and they're dumping all their waste up there, because there's huge free things, and the country is small, so they're bringing a lot of Chinese into Tibet, so it's a few things, I think. Few things, but also karma. As Garjan Rinpoche, when he came here the last time, he said, you were asking about karma. So he came here, he sat on the throne, he said, hello, my name is Garjan, I've been imprisoned by the Chinese army, this is my karma. Finished, that's it. No big deal. And that's what the Tibetans say. They say, well, if you study Tibetan history, where there was also corruption, and this and that and all these things, it's like,
The
yeah.
Dalai Lama speaks about it.
Huh?
He speaks about it. Why he came to the Tibetan people. He said, I heard it.
Well, China thinks that it was part of it was the motherland anyway, and then they started invading it. How these political things happen. There's one country is called like this, and then it's called like that. But I usually tell Swiss people, Switzerland has been existing since 700 years, that's all. And we think that it will be Switzerland forever after. Who knows? It will be something different. And we go, oh, no, it changed into Switzerland on the year 1291. It can also change into something else again. That depends on human minds, not just on karma, but also on human minds who think, this is my country, I will take it. This is how these things happen. Yeah?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. Short one, then we make a break.
Can you tell us what the story that you told us about Ishvara almost lost his...
Gave up. Yeah.
Gave up? What does he come to teach us?
What was the question?
What does it come to teach us? When we are in that state, to go and look for help. That there is plenty of people around who can encourage us again. I think that's what it's telling us. Or what do you think it is telling us?
Yes, I thought that when Giri asked the questions about saying it can be frustrating, it's huge, too big, even after pronunciation and seeing emptiness and all that, and it's still a huge job. So let's be humble. It happened to him.
Yeah.
Look for help
That's
and
what I'm
continue.
saying. It's okay to feel down sometimes and to feel, oh, it's too big a job. But still to think, but whatever, I will not give up the kind of the well-being of sentient beings. Yes, even I'm totally incapable at the moment, I don't even want to know about them, but I will still kind of hold that very precious mind, the interest, the concern for all sentient beings. Is that what you wanted to say? Okay. Okay. So we make a break.